Hi everybody, Barbara Drazga here, aka the Deal Diva. If you haven't already, click on the subscribe button so every time I do a fun video like this for e-commerce sellers, you get dinged on your computer and you can watch at your leisure. Today, we are talking private label on Amazon with Tim Jordan from Hickory Flats. Hi, Tim.
How are you?
I'm doing fantabulous. Thank you for being here today. I know you're super busy with your China trips and with ASD coming up. If you guys don't know, the ASD Market Week is coming up in just a couple of weeks. It came up pretty fast, the fall show. I feel like we just came back from the April show, right, or from the February show. So get your plane tickets, it's free to go to the ASD market as a reseller, as a business. So make sure you go to asdmarket.com, I think, or just Google it and get your tickets, get your hotel, get your flight because hotels fill up fast. And we're going to talk about why you should be looking for private label products and how to do it the right way with Tim today. This is the guy that I followed all the way to China. No, I'm not a stalker, I swear. I do primarily wholesale and bundles. You can go to dealdivawholesale.com and bundlemasterclass.com. And I know I needed to start creating my own products and going direct to factory. So I went with Tim to China, to Yiwu Market, and it was mind-blowing, eye-opening. I have so many product ideas that I still haven't implemented yet because of just the volume of the potential. So first I want to thank you for that. I don't think I've ever done that publicly yet, so thanks.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Awesome. So today you're joining us to talk about the state of the Amazon marketplace for private label sellers. Amazon changes so fast. I do want to drop a quick statistic for those of you who are, a caveat, stop reading the Facebook groups because a lot of people who are moving and shaking, we're not in those Facebook groups dropping complaints. The people who are not, figuring out problems, they're in there. So don't use that as your reference point for the reality of Amazon. So I heard this last week on Bloomberg, I think 37.7% of all e-commerce sales are done on Amazon. Okay, so just keep that in your mind as Tim starts sharing why private label is important and how you can find great products, etc. Take it away, Tim.
Yeah, I think we all know why private label is important, but one important thing to keep in mind is that it's not dead. There are so many people that 4 or 5 years ago were slapping stickers on a white box and calling it private label, and we're just absolutely crushing it on Amazon. And those times have changed, and what that's led to is a lot of people have received this kind of misconception that the ship has sailed, that we can't do this anymore, that private label opportunities aren't dead. And I completely disagree. Like Barbara just said, over 37% of e-commerce sales in the US on Amazon. That's a huge platform. Amazon brings traffic. We own several Shopify sites, and just today I was with my partners kind of strategizing on like how to drive traffic to our Shopify sites. But what's amazing about Amazon is you don't have to drive traffic because it's already there. But we work with so many Amazon sellers, and we sell so many of our own products that we have kind of received this kind of cool perspective on things, what works, what doesn't in the private label industry. And one of the biggest problems that people are having right now is just selecting the right product. Like we've all got the information, we've all got the tools, we've all got the latest hacks, we've all got the pivot table spreadsheets, we know how to run PPC, but we're having a hard time figuring out just what products to select. And that's kind of one of the areas that we excel in. We're finding the most success, and of course our students are also finding big success there as well. So Barbara, if you want me to, I can kind of share a little bit of that with you and with listeners here, and maybe I can give some good advice to help them on their journey.
Yeah, I love that you drop knowledge bombs and you give a ton of value when I interview you. So please go ahead. You can share your screen and take it over.
Yeah, so there are a lot of off Amazon ways to find potential products, and I know a lot of people have used, or we've taught a lot of people to use things like Pinterest and other social sites and life hack blogs and Kickstarter and Indiegogo and all that. But one of the things that I absolutely love are physical markets, and there's a lot of reasons for that. One, physical markets are usually dominated by retail industry that have to be cutting edge in their product selection and product offerings. So literally these retailers and these wholesalers are spending mountains of money and energy and effort researching what's trending. And by going and hanging out with them and seeing what they're doing, we can actually capitalize on their information. We can capitalize on their investment in education and figure out for ourselves what people may be looking for, because Amazon is slow. Amazon's usually like 18 months behind, right? So We've got ASD in July coming up, and we really want to encourage people to come there. Mountains of product opportunities, mountain of product ideas, also just amazing networking, which is like one of the most powerful things you can do for your business. So I want to walk you through kind of the scenario that played out. I think it was March or April. I can't remember, the last spring ASD, where we went and Hickory Flats Private Label Legion hosts a workshop where we literally use screen sharing and like hardcore workshop to teach people exactly the methods that we use to identify, validate, test, and then make decisions to launch their next Amazon products. So our workshop is Monday. So the last ASD on a Sunday, I'm walking through with my partner JB, and we're just kind of getting the lay of the land because we're going to do a walkthrough the next day. And we're showing people, we're going to be showing people how, of course, how the floor is laid out. So we need to do it ourselves. So we're walking through, getting lay of the land, and we kept catching ourselves stopping and looking at products. We'd be walking, we'd go, oh, what is that? And we kind of stop, and we'd go over there and touch it, feel it, look at it, play with it. And those are the things that we kind of catalog in our head as, oh, if I touched it, felt it, played with it, maybe this is an interesting product opportunity. And we saw something that was crazy. It was this unique texture, this unique color, and it was being used on women's handbags. And I'd never seen this before. So we stopped and kind of walked over. And at first I thought it was some weird leather, and it wasn't. I started touching it, and it was cork, like cork. Huh. And so I start talking to the lady that runs the booth, and I said, what is going on here? And she said, yeah, my husband loves cork. He has for years. And we sell handbags, like women's handbags and accessories. And we found out that there are people out there that are interested in cork, and apparently cork is a pretty good leather alternative, right? So we're playing with it, touching it, feeling it. I put it kind of in my mental Rolodex as like cork, right? Like cork accessories or whatever. So the next morning on Monday, we're sitting in this workshop with these other private label sellers, kind of showing them what's up. And I said, hey, let's use an example of what I found yesterday as a potential product idea or material idea or something, just an idea to spawn an idea, right? And I literally go to Amazon.com, and I'm going to share my screen with you. Actually, let me do this first. All right, share screen, boom. All right, so you should be seeing my Amazon page, right?
Yes.
So literally, I started looking at a bunch of different cork things, and I typed cork men's accessories, or we could even change this to men's cork accessories. It doesn't really matter. Now, here's what got me jacked up. All right. I type in men's cork accessories, and I've heard from these people at the booth that like people are looking for cork. Barbara, trick question. Why would I get excited about these page results?
I see a couple of things. One, there's like wallets is the main thing, but you got all these other things that are not related to cork.
They're not related to cork at all. I type in men's cork accessories, right? Which should be trending up. And look, the best seller in men's cork accessories is a trekking pole. We've immediately got whiskey glasses. We've got a cork thing. We've got coasters. We've got poker. I mean, look, these things are not men's cork accessories. They're not. I don't know what this pink gun, I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Now, there are some cork.
That was a wine bottle opener. So, but look at that cork tie right out of the gate on the right-hand side. That cork tie. How about wedding?
Yeah.
You do like a dozen of those, 6 of those for the best men at weddings, and all sorts of cork wedding accessories.
So here's what's interesting. There are people looking for cork men's accessories or cork accessories in general, right? And I would have never known this existed. So I literally am walking around the trade show floor, and instead of trying to find a supplier to buy wholesale from, because that's not my business model, I'm just using the trade show for accessories, right? Or for not for accessories, but for ideas, for innovation, for inspiration, right? I'm literally walking, and then the next morning I'm like, hey, guys, let's walk through this. We pull up men's cork accessories. Now, what's crazy about this is there are so many people that their entire bread and butter mode of operation on Amazon is to try to compete in a very heavily saturated market and get to page 1. So they're doing ranking hacks, and they're like aggressive PPC and all this stuff. Here's the thing. When you find something that's in demand with low competition, you can get on page 1 now. Like if I had a men's cork accessory, it would not take me very long at all to get on page 1 for this, because people are accidentally getting up there and they're not even trying. Right? Like this is crazy.
I've got a screen up with merchant words, and I just did a search for cork accessories, And there's 8,300 evergreen searches a month for cork accessories. Cork desk accessories is the second one. Keychain accessories, cork bathroom accessories. This isn't a cork office accessories. This is an interesting niche.
Yes, and like you just said, you're looking at merchant words. People are looking for this.
Yeah.
But when they go to Amazon, it's not there.
Nope.
So how can we corroborate this? Well, I like going to Pinterest, right? So I'm trying to get an idea. I literally typed, this is the exact same thing, men's cork accessories. Now, some of these on Pinterest are going to be a little bit weird because they're promoted, right? So this is a sponsored ad. This is a sponsored ad. This is a sponsored ad. But look at all these cork items that are not sponsored. So these are like the organic ones. So the only things that are
on the left, I said for
yeah. So the only things that are irrelevant on this page are just the sponsored ads. But you take off the sponsored ads and everything else is men's cork accessories. It's crazy, right?
Those shoes are cool.
Yeah, so what this is telling me is that people are actually interested in this. So when we add that, like different social media, platforms that corroborate it, in addition to like what Barbara just said, pulling up merchant words, we use Helium 10.
Yeah, I use Helium 10 too.
Searching for this. People are searching for it. And it's an amazing opportunity because on page 1, it's irrelevant search results. High demand, low competition. High demand, low, like that's the secret sauce to private label. Get on page 1 tomorrow. The PPC costs are going to be cheap. Now, how did I come up with this men's cork accessory idea? Was it software? No. Was I using Viral Launch to give me magic numbers? No, I wasn't. I literally had to put boots on the ground, walk to this trade show, and use other people's innovation and inspiration and research to know what's popular. Now, after we saw that, the next day we're walking around. We showed people this in our private walk or our private workshop. The next day we're literally, or later that day, we're literally walking through in actual walkthrough mode, and people are saying, "Tim, look over there, look over there." And we kept finding multiple booths with cork accessories. There's a lady that was making like wine bags, like to insulate your wine bottles out of cork. There's another lady making yoga mat rolls, like holders to hold your yoga mats out of cork. So what's happening is we keep seeing all these ideas of cork that are not on Amazon at all. And if we had never put our boots on the ground, walked through that trade show and gotten ideas, well, I would have never known this niche existed, and it's still wide open. I mean, it's been 6 months and there's still the same amount of listings as there were back then. So people that are struggling to find a product that doesn't become a Me Too product and get saturated and everybody's doing it, like this is one of the answers. You've got to find a product that's high in demand with low competition, get there first. And if you're looking far enough in advance by using these methods like we do, like using trade shows like ASD, you can find those products first. It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. And I love how you talk to the vendors. I think it's a completely different approach than a lot of Amazon sellers. And I hate that term. We're e-commerce sellers. Okay, let's get used to
we're product sellers.
E-commerce. Amazon is simply a platform where you actually have conversations, and vendors are a wealth of information. So when you enter a trade show with the perspective of being a student and just connecting with vendors and developing a relationship, you are like the 1%, because there's so many other sellers walking this trade show saying, "Hi, I'm an Amazon seller. Can I sell your stuff?" So you set yourself apart by having a completely different conversation, and you show an interest in what their product and their passion is. So
now let me tell you the other really cool part about ASD and why we love to go there. Because you can go to any old trade show and get ideas. ASD, I think, is really great because just the size and the scale. And I mean, it's Vegas. You can stay there inexpensively. Like it's usually cheap to fly there. It's fun. But one cool thing about ASD is incorporated in their trade show, they have Source Direct, right? And what Source Direct is ASD is starting to focus more and more on private brand owners, manufacturers, private label sellers, essentially, that want access to better manufacturing, more direct lines of manufacturing. So literally the method that we use to find our next private label products at ASD is we go to the main show floor and we go look at different categories and niches that we're interested in. We identify potential products. And then we go from there to the Source Direct Pavilion, where we literally meet with Chinese suppliers, Taiwanese suppliers, Vietnamese suppliers, mostly Chinese, but a lot of these manufacturing countries. And literally we walk into their booth and they've got all these products like it's their showroom. And now I have ideas in my head. So I can walk into a men's accessories booth of a Chinese manufacturer, carry on a conversation with them, because if they're there, they're speaking English. And now I bring them the ideas. Hey, can you also make products out of cork? And they say, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times they'll say, we don't have any samples here because no one's ever bought it before. Like, it's not a big seller here. And I'm jumping up and down and screaming, like, I'm so excited, because if they're not selling it, they're not getting a lot of inquiries for it. That means we're still way ahead of the curve, right? Because there's this like time frame that we go down.
And
So literally,
I've actually seen you jumping up and down screaming at karaoke. So it's a thing.
it is a thing. That's not exaggeration. So literally at ASD, it's like this magical place because we can track trends. We can find innovative ideas. We can figure out what people are searching for. And then on the same day or the same second day or however long you're there, we can literally engage with direct to you manufacturers and carry on these conversations with them. And there's very, very, very low risk of them like knocking off your ideas because they don't have a clue what we know. So when I go to them and I say, hey, I'm looking for, I see you do these wallets. Can you do it in cork? They say, yeah, but it's not a big seller on Amazon. Like, I'm smiling inside because that's how you keep, one of the ways you keep your manufacturer from competing with you is because they don't know what you do. They don't see a lot of sales coming into them already or a lot of inquiries in that product because it's not saturated yet. So they think you're crazy, right? I can't tell you how many products we manufacture that people do. They think we're crazy because we're so far ahead of the gun. So that's why we love ASD, is it fixes those problems. It helps us identify products that are not saturated, right? So obviously we can be the first to market with these awesome private label products. We can network while we're there. We can learn from other sellers. We have, can get some advanced training through all sorts of different modules and training opportunities, whether it's our workshop or even some of the free training at ASD. And we can directly engage with actual manufacturers all on the same trade room floor. Every time we go to ASD, we come back with successful product ideas, frequently come back with great contacts for manufacturing. And we basically, have a huge return on our investment every single time we do it.
So how do you differentiate? So first of all, just to recap, because that's a lot of information, to put it in a nutshell, guys, there are two basic ways, and this is really simplifying it, to get product ideas. One is to start on Amazon, where you're finding a lot of products that are already up there, and a lot of newbies and people who don't understand the private label model properly, they go and get the same thing done, and they throw a keychain in there and slap a label on a box, like he says, and try to compete in a product that's already got a significant attraction and competition on Amazon. And then there's the other way, Tim's way, which is what high-level Amazon sellers do and e-commerce sellers do, is you look for products that are not yet in the market, and you educate yourself on what trends are up and coming and what things are not out there yet to the point where you can't compete. And then you differentiate yourself in a couple of different ways. Do you want to talk about differentiating your product so it doesn't become a Me Too product that everybody else jumps on?
Yeah, well, one way you differentiate now, and this is like the most basic version, is by getting there first. All right. So when you're looking at Amazon listings, if I can get there first and start ranking fast, I mean, I go back to this page one. I won't screen share again. And most of these wallets are not even FBA, and they've got like 7 or 8 reviews. So if I really target this hard and go after it, I can differentiate myself just on Amazon by being there first, by establishing myself, or even if 2 years from now it becomes a Me Too product, I've got the highest number of views, I'm at the top, I'm good to go. But typically what I like to do is, one, identify these unique niches, which we can do at these markets. And I'm not thinking about just Amazon products. I'm thinking about e-commerce products, right? Being an Amazon or an e-commerce seller, not an Amazon seller. I just happen to use Amazon, and start working tactically to identify these niches, which can help me identify target markets and different people and small groups and influencers to be tactically thinking about moving my business to a sellable asset, right? So just today, one of our more established brands, my partners and I we had a Zoom call 2 hours ago, and we literally put a hard date on selling one of our brands. And we're going to do it pretty much exactly 12 months from now, 11 months from now, right? And we're doing that because we start with Amazon. We start with a unique product idea that's high in demand, low competition. And we start differentiating ourselves by telling a brand story off of Amazon, get some social media stuff going, some Pinterest stuff going, some Etsy stuff going, whatever it is, based on your product. And eventually start moving those sales onto a Shopify site if we can, to start collecting emails. And now we've got an actual brand, not just an Amazon listing, right? But it starts with Amazon for sure for us. And by differentiating, maybe not even the product. You don't necessarily always have to differentiate product. We just have to differentiate how you operate your business and how you sell that product to differentiate yourself as a real business and not just an Amazon listing.
So just off the top of my head, I keep looking to the left, not because I'm ignoring you, but because I'm doing some research over here as you're talking. Biker Wallets has 24,000 Amazon search volume. So here's the niche market off the top of my head that I see for these. So to differentiate that particular wallet, you also have a grommet. You put a grommet in the corner of it, and you bundle it together with a chain, with a hook, a carabiner that they can put on their belt as they're on their as they're on their motorcycle, and then you write a story about bikers who want to be environmentally friendly and differentiate, and then you put some kind of really cool logo on the outside of that, but not a company logo, but a logo that has to do with a biker, like freedom or something, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting you said that. The reason that the cork right now is popular, and I promise you, I did not know anything about cork, and I've become kind of a cork accessory like expert, is just because I was on the ASD trade show floor. But the reason that cork is popular right now is all of these crunchy granola hipsters, right? They want a non-leather or a non-animal alternative. So they want non-GMO, vegan, right? So as I'm going through here, I mean, even on page one, these crappy listings, it's vegan, non-leather bifold wallets, natural minimalist wallets. I mean, like all this stuff. And again, all these keywords are huge. Like when you start stacking these keywords up, it's just like, it's game over, the opportunities.
Oh
but
my
again,
God. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I never would have seen this if I had not gone to ASD.
125,900 searches a month for vegan wallet. Yeah. Okay. So if you're the only one in there with a cork one, in the midst of all of these, PU wallets, these, fake leather wallets, you right out of the gate, and then you bundle it together with a chain, and you make a story out of it. You put a cool logo on it. I haven't searched Amazon for it, but that was what Merchant Words gave me back.
That's amazing. And
cool.
Again, I can do another screen share just because this is very interesting here. So I just typed in
brainstorming, guys. We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't plan this ahead. We're just going for it. So I just type in vegan wallet. These are sponsored. Skip that. So this is a fake leather one, but look, vegan cork wallet for women.
Terrible title.
Look at this listing.
Terrible.
But you know what? They're the number 2, not sponsored. They're the number 2 spot for vegan wallet. Why on earth are they the number 2 spot in something that's heavily searched with a crappy listing with only 14 reviews?
But look at the price sponsored.
They found a product that people wanted. Guys, that's all it takes. Like, you don't have to know exactly how to get your ACOS and PPC from 7% to 6.6%. It doesn't matter. When you find a product that people want that's in low competition, it's game over. Like, you've completely succeeded. You see? Now,
none of these wallets have grommets. None of these wallets are made for bikers or for guys who have their, a chain attached to their wallet.
But I mean, there's so many opportunities here. Very low review numbers, like everybody wants. And again, like this is an entire niche, just vegan wallets, whether you take it to bikers or minimalists or whatever, like you can go really wide in this. But my point is, I would have never known that the cork material was even a substitute for leather and that people were looking for it if I had not physically put my hands, eyes, and feet on, the showroom floor at a trade show. And while I was at the trade show in March, I literally met a manufacturer that does men's accessories and leather that also has a cork supplier that can do it. I haven't got to it because we've got so many product ideas, like we have to focus. But what's crazy about what we do here, especially like Private Label Legion and the methods that we teach, we don't have a shortage of good product ideas, right? And that's so different than like mainstream private label. It's really pretty awesome. But we literally do that in extremely easy methods. Like I'm sharing you the secret sauce right now. Like there's nothing crazy beyond this. Like you're witnessing the whole thing right now. That's all it takes.
Yeah. So it looked like we did this easily. That's just because we're fairly practiced at brainstorming and finding ideas and validating them quickly because we know the tools, we're used to them, we've used them. But it's to begin with, it's great to have a guide to start learning these skills so they become naturally before you hit the trade show floor. So with that lead in, Tim, I know you're putting together a workshop you did a workshop last ASD and I think the previous one.
Yeah.
Tell us about the workshop at ASD.
Yeah, so we're doing a workshop July 29th this year at ASD. And remember, ASD is free. You can get on the trade room floor. But what we're doing is we're teaching you how to maximize on that. So we've had workshops here before, and we're actually making this one kind of bigger and better. We've got more content contributors coming in and helping us. And we're actually spending more time in the classroom. So the layout of this is 9 a.m. on July 29th is when we get started. And ASD has actually, helped provide us a classroom literally on the showroom floor. So you're going to come in and we are going to do just a hardcore workshop showing you everything from product identification to initial validation to how we test in small quantities to make sure that, we're not just dumping money in a bad product, all the way to like how we use different methods to launch products, right? So we're doing like a how to get started in private label or how to advance in private label. You can be a beginner, you can be a brand new person. We did this in March, and like I've never done anything, professionally that had such good reviews. Like people literally last week, I was at SellerCon in Vegas and having dinner with a couple that I had met in March at our ASD workshop. And they were literally telling me like that workshop was the most influential thing that they had ever done to help their business, right? So we're going to have this workshop. There's going to be a big team of us there teaching. It's not just presentations. It's not sales pitches. Like literally we're going to be interacting with you, talking to you. It's a small group event. And we're literally going to be like showing you our screen and working through this with you at about 2 p.m. So once we've stuffed you full of so much knowledge that you can't see straight, we are literally going to break up into small groups and go on the trade room floor and practice what we're doing, right? So we're literally going to go to the main trade room floors in small groups, let you walk around, identify catalog keywords. We're going to be right there with you, mentoring you and helping you. And then from there, we're going to the Source Direct, where we're literally going to hands-on show you how we're engaging with these suppliers, how we're engaging with these different opportunities, the questions that we're asking, the way that that we're communicating. And in one day, we're going to teach you what it took us like 2 years to figure out ourselves. And to my knowledge, it's by far the best opportunity that there is for a one-day workshop to either expand or to begin your private label business.
Yeah, and to give you a shout out, I did go to EU Market with you and your team, and your team is top notch. They are just incredibly well trained and like big hearts, very giving. They don't hold things back. I know, there's a lot of trainings in this market and coaching, et cetera, where, they give you just enough, but they hold kind of back the good stuff. And then, you got to pay more for it. I know that you and your team have a completely different perspective. You have really big hearts, and you really want us to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally on a public webinar giving good product ideas. Like, who else is out there giving good product ideas? Like, we just give stuff away. So yeah, I mean that drives us to do better, and we love seeing people succeed. And unless we give as much value as we humanly can, we're not going to see the level of success that we want. So that's completely big part of what we do.
Yeah, it gets you the testimonials from people who see success in their business and their lives because they've trusted you with their business and information. So we share that abundance mentality. There's so much opportunity out there. Having a great guide is I think is key, and so I want to thank you for being one of my guides. So I've got a link for you guys to go register. What is the investment for them to be a part of this from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then full training, and then on the trade show floor walking with one of your team? What is the investment? I'm going to give you guys
it should be $497. It's $497, $499, something like that. And that's again the whole day workshop. Basically everything that you need. Most people are paying $500 an hour for custom consulting, and that's pretty expensive. That's a lot of money, $500 an hour. So instead, for $500, you get an excuse to come hang out in Vegas. We're going to literally walk you through step by step this entire process. Several hours of workshop. We're literally on the trade room floor, nice, comfy. I was going to say digs, but accommodations there in the actual trade room floor workshop and or classroom. Then we're literally going out on the floor with you. So you're getting like 7 hours of intense training for $500 plus. One of the most beneficial things to this is that you meet other people. So you're literally going to be sitting right next to or shoulder to shoulder with someone else that can help you grow your business. You can help grow theirs. The networking is fantastic. We have people that come to our one-day workshops and literally become friends after that. And then also, if you want to get really, really intense, we actually have an upgrade that when you purchase, and unless it's already sold out, and it may sell out really, really fast, we're close selling out anyways, is we're doing a VIP night that night. So when you go to this URL that this website here that Barbara has, and you you pay for this. As long as it's still open, you can actually upgrade. It's a couple $100 extra to the VIP event, which we pretty much go all night. We're taking you to dinner, really hardcore networking with some really high level sellers, including our team. And we're just going to go have a good night. Barbara, I know you've been involved in some of that before with us, and it's a good time, but most importantly, it's great networking. So you've got the website here, dealdivawholesale.com/Hickory. Also,
Hickory,
forward slash. That is forward slash. I always get my backer forward.
Hickory Flats. That's why it is. So it's forward.
Yes.
Dealdivawholesale.com/Hickory. HICKORY.
Yep. And then if you don't go to that website, if you want to go to our website, hickory-flats.com, there's a promo code. Type in Barbara. Like, just in case you forget this, just type in the promo code Barbara when you go to checkout. And we're actually giving you discounts, right? So if you go to this website that Barbara has listed, or you just go straight to our website, doesn't matter how you get there, type in promo code Barbara, and you'll get a $50 coupon for that too. It takes $50 right off of it.
What is your website? Let me see if I can write it in here.
Yeah, it's hickory-flats.com.
Hickory-flats.com, guys.
Super easy.
So you've got it in writing, just so you don't have to worry about spelling. www.hickory-flats.com. That's usually the mistake I make. And spell my name Barbara.
Yep.
In there. And
yeah, if you go to our website on the top, you'll see a little button that says live events. Just click that and it'll go through. So you can definitely go through the dealdivawholesale.com/Hickory site. Or if you're listening to this and you don't see it, just remember hickory-flats.com. Promo code Barbara, though. You got to type in promo code Barbara at checkout to get that $50 off coupon.
Yeah, I highly recommend upgrading to the evening event, because those small, intimate groups is where some really deep conversations happen. And you can end up partnering with people who maybe have more capital than time, or more time than capital, or they've got a cool product that is in the same niche you're in that you could do some partnering with, or they know a factory that you don't. So I highly recommend. And think about it, guys. Let's put this in perspective. So for $500 for an entire day of training, hands-on training, and then a walkthrough, so you could literally walk away with a product that you could be ready to pull the trigger on pretty quickly. $500, how long would it take you to get that investment back with just one product? How many would you have to sell of that product to recoup that investment? That's like minimal.
Yeah. And a bigger question is, how long would it take you to figure this out on your own? And is the $500 worth it just not only to network and hang out and literally potentially find products on that same trip, but learn the methods that we're succeeding with right now?
Yeah, I've heard some personal horror stories from, I won't name names but they've lost tens of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Bad buys because they didn't do the research up front on a product. They did a Me Too product, and it was two separate people, and they were trying to unload their containers on other people because it was just tens of thousands of dollars lost because they didn't do the work up front. So for $495 for $500, plus a couple $100 for the dinner, I highly recommend joining us. Hoping that I'm going to be able to join you as well, Tim.
Yep.
So dealdivawholesale.com/Hickory or hickory-flats.com, and put Barbara in the coupon code. And I hope you guys can join us. Let's stop the share. So thank you so much for being with us today. I know you're crazy busy.
Yeah, well, I hope that somebody has been inspired at least by the concept and idea of looking for unique product opportunities, and hope some folks will take advantage of this. It's coming up pretty soon, but flights and hotels in Vegas are cheap. You really don't have an excuse.
Your last one sold out pretty fast.
It sold out extremely fast.
So I'll make sure if you guys, just get to the website, sign up for it. I will be in Vegas, so I will hang out with you guys too there. I'm Barbara Drazga. This is Tim Jordan from Hickory Flats. Hit the subscribe button so you can get these video updates when we do it. And I know, I'm not sure which side you are on, but you're Private Label Legion. I'm Barbara Drazga, and you'll find us on Facebook. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for Tim for being on here today, and I'll see you in Vegas.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.